Well, hi, Summerleas. Dave here, and today, as my special guest, I have Matt Bain. And yes, in case you're wondering, he is the brother of our very own Doodah Bain, but also he's his own person. And as part of being his own person, he is the pastor at Margate Christian Church. Now, we're here today to talk to you about a very exciting new initiative that Matt's actually been really key in setting up in Kingborough. And that initiative is called Channel Churches Care. And Summerleas has actually recently just joined this organisation, which we're really excited about. It's great to be a part of it. But I thought it'd be really good just to share with you a little bit about what it does and what it's aiming to do. So, Matt, maybe if I could just hand over to you and you could just tell us a bit about what Channel Churches Care is and what it's trying to do.
Yeah. Sure thing, Davey. And thanks for having me. Really appreciate that. And thank you also for acknowledging my own individual personhood as well. That also goes a long way. Dude, as everyone I'm sure can appreciate, it casts an immense shadow. So thank you for that. So Channel Churches Care. Channel Churches Care is it's a partnership of churches located in the Channel. And for our purposes, we're defining the Channel as extending from Huntingfield through to Woodbridge. So that's the Channel for us. So we've got some churches in that geographical region, and our goal, if you like, is to bring residents of the Channel, so again, people who reside between Huntingfield and Woodbridge, any kind of practical assistance they need that has anything to do with COVID and its wake. So that's like the main goal. So churches, also partnering with a couple of other community organisations as well. So it's not just churches, it's primarily churches, but we've got some other community organisations that have come on board, and we're trying to meet people's COVID-related practical needs. But in addition to that, we're also trying to have a bit more of a, and I'm loath to use the word, but holistic focus as well. So as well as providing free practical assistance, things like firewood, meals and that kind of thing, we're also trying to provide really easy pathways for people who want to explore spirituality, the Christian faith, people who want prayer, people who maybe want to check out what being involved in a church is like, albeit online for now. So it's a mixture of practical assistance as well as, I suppose, kind of emotional, as well as spiritual assistance. And our doorways in primarily a Facebook page, as well as a website. And we've got a coordinator on board as well. So that's Channel Churches Care.
Sounds fantastic. And actually, we're going to have a link to that website on our website and Facebook page and all the rest of it. So if people want to find out more, they can access that super easy. Mate, it sounds fantastic. And you've sort of secured a bunch of funding for this too. Did you want to just tell us a little bit about how that came about? Because that's really exciting.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it is. So the first thing I did was ask myself, what would Dave Lynch do in a position like this?
Great question to ask.
Yeah, that's right. My favourite go-to. Yeah, and after doing that for a while, I reached out to our, I guess you could say, our kind of denominational network. So MCC, Margate Christian Church, is part of Christian Community Churches VicTaz, Triple CVAT. So I reached out for them. They were kind enough to give us a grant, which is really useful to kind of kickstart that. We also had some friends just spontaneously reach out and be very, very generous with like a really nice large cash donation, which is very, very good of them. And then we had a private group, faith-based, that we put a grant application to. They considered it, provided us with some short-term funding, also very gracious of them. And then lastly, Taz Christian Fund have come to the party, and again, very generously and graciously put up funding for around about 6 months. Yeah, so for now, we're looking at it being a 6-month project. So that's how we got the dollar side of things done. But we're also partnering for other resources with a bunch of other organisations. So currently, we've got a very good thing going with Brookfield Shed. So Julia, the manager, she's helping out in a big way in terms of helping cook meals for people, which is great, and storing some raw ingredients in the commercial freezers and stuff. And we're also partnering with, for now, Loaves and Fishes, that are providing some raw ingredients that get turned into meals for people as well.
That's fantastic. So there's really significant resources there to actually make a huge difference for people that are doing it tough due to the COVID spreading around and the issues that's caused. So that's really exciting. Yeah. What about you've got this strategy of wanting to get local churches like Summerleas on board. Yeah. What's the thinking behind that?
There's a bit of thinking. There's a bit of thinking behind it. Like first of all, and this is generally like the most important thing. We wanted it, like from the get-go, to be about to be something that helps promote and raise the profile of the church, as opposed to just a church, you know, my church, your church, but the church in the area. So we saw that this as an opportunity to do what we could to help lift, raise, boost the profile of local churches amongst local channel residents. As you're probably like aware, once you kind of go south from Summerleas, from your church in Huntingfield, the number of churches just starts to dwindle like the further south that you go. So we wanted to see the churches pull together. So we figured together our profile would have a much greater chance of being raised. People would find it harder to ignore if there were more churches on board rather than just say one or two. So that was like the first bit of thinking. Secondly, we were looking to try to get as a large volunteer pool as possible. So if this thing takes off, if the need really is out there, particularly as winter is coming and approaching, we figured that the need would just kind of spike and spike and spike. So we wanted to have more and more churches and volunteers on board. We wanted all the different talents, if you like, or skill sets, that kind of thing, of different churches pulling together too. And we also figure if people use this or if God uses this as a way for people to come to faith and follow and love him, which we're praying and hoping that he will, then what we want is ideally, when things go back to the new normal and people start meeting physically again, if someone accesses Channel Church's care and says that they want to explore Christianity, then if we find out that they reside in Snug, then ideally we want to point them back in the direction of a church at Snug, and we want that to be the home church. It just seemed to be like a waste of time if someone's residing like down in Snug and they start coming to a church in Margate or Huntingfield. It makes more sense if they start to fellowship and join a church in Snug. So that was another reason why we wanted a whole lot of churches represented. Is that all right? That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes heaps of sense. It's a great idea, I reckon. Okay, well, perhaps one last question. If I'm a Summerleas person watching this and I'm thinking, man, this sounds really exciting and I really want to be able to help the local community practically, I'd love to be involved with Channel Church's care, but I'm at Summerleas. I know Summerleas is a part of this, but how do I actually then get involved and help people out practically in these ways that you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Summerleas person. That's fantastic. Hats off to you. I reckon the first port of call would be to get in touch with the incredible Mel Bultman. So Mel, I believe, is the church liaison or coordinator for Channel Church's Care. So if you hit up Mel and give her some idea of perhaps like how many hours you've got free or available over the course of like a week or a fortnight, and ask her what are some of the possible things that you could get involved in. Those things are going to be largely driven by need, and because it's still in the early throes of the project, we're starting to get a better idea over time as to what those needs are, because we're starting to get more and more requests for assistance start to kind of pile on in. But I imagine it's going to be stuff like perhaps, again, as winter approaches, people maybe are going to need firewood. So we're looking at having a couple of working bees coming up, ISO working bees where we can chop up firewood and cart it responsibly. There's going to be a whole lot of food packages that need to be delivered. So we're going to need drivers as well, like pretty soon, going up and down the channel. But if nothing else, like right here and right now, we'd really appreciate your prayers for the project, and also please spread the word. So again, we want this to get out and reach people, anyone who needs it. Again, practical assistance as well as people who are exploring faith and Christianity and church at the moment. So if nothing else, please pray for us, promote it, but please also talk to Mel. That'd be fantastic.
That's great, man. Thanks so much for your time. And thanks too, just on behalf of Summerleas and other churches in the area, for taking the initiative to get all this set up, because I just think it's an awesome thing to be doing at a time like this.
No, mate. Yeah. Thanks, Davey.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, thank you. And look, at Summerleas, and our members know this, we've just recently finished our Citizen Church series, and a big part of that's sort of thinking about how to be a good global citizen. But, we've been looking at how we can really love our neighbours. And I think this is just such a wonderful way for us to do that. So, Summerleas person, if you want to get involved, shoot Mel Bultman an email. She'll add you to her wonderful list, or you can let me know if you've got questions as well. As I said, we'll have links to the website on our website and Facebook page. So make sure you check it out.
Man, can I say like one more thing?
No.
You're right. I should also give a shout out to the other churches that are involved in case people are interested. These are the churches that are involved for now. So Kingborough Family Church and One Way Margate, you guys and MCC. But a big special thanks to you, Dave and Summerleas, because like you were the first church to kind of sign up and join us, and really do appreciate the inspiration and encouragement that was.
No worries. They saw it first with us. Yeah.
Trailblazers.
Cool.
Thank you.
And see everyone later. Bye.
See ya.